In the practical session right now, let's see how to create a VPC network. This is my AWS dashboard where I have logged into Ohio region right now. In the VPC dashboard, let us see the default VPC which is available on the Ohio region. But instead of using this VPC, I'm going to create my own custom VPC with the custom CIDR. How to do that? Which means I'm going to create a VPC, subnets, internet gateway, NAT gateway, and route tables for public subnets and private subnets. So these are the things what we have to perform right now. So let us create the resources one by one. First, I want to create a VPC. Select create VPC. Instead of using second option, by using the first option itself, I want to create a VPC and then followed by other resources one by one. If you are familiar with VPC, you can go with the second option. Since it is about ECS, let me specify the name as ECS network. And then the CIDR what I want to use is 10.100.0.0/16. And then I don't want to enable IPv6. I just want to enable only IPv4. And then followed by the tag, you can see the name of the VPC will be added as a tag itself. After these values are specified, now we can create a VPC. Your task is done right now. After that, we have to create a subnets followed by route tables and then internet gateway, NAT gateway. Now let me create a subnets. In a single task itself, I want to create multiple subnets. How to do that? Create subnet. Select the VPC under which you want to create a subnet. The VPC is ECS network. Now let me give the name public -subnet -2a. Select the availability zone. Now I want to launch this particular subnet on 2a availability zone with the CIDR 10.100.0.0/24. How many IP addresses you will have in this particular subnet? 256 IP addresses. And then second one, let me name it as public -subnet -2b. Since I want to create in 2b availability zone, that's the reason I am specifying 2b. And the CIDR what I want to give is 10.100. I want to give even numbers. So let me try to prefer 2.0/24. Then next one, let me give the name as public -subnet -2c. Since I will be creating in 2c availability zone with the CIDR 10.100.4.0. I think 4 will not be there. I think here we have specified 0, 2 and then 4. Yeah. .0/24. Now we have specified all the public subnets what we want to create across the 3 availability zones. Now I want to create a private subnets. Then let us go to the new subnet and let me give the name as private -subnet -2a and select the availability zone as 2a. And the CIDR what I want to specify is 10.100.1.0/24. For private subnets, I want to use odd numbers. Public subnets, I want to use even numbers. And then next, private -subnet -2b. What is specified here? 2a. Private, that is fine. Now let me select 2b and then CIDR as 10.100.3.0/24. And then the last one, private -subnet -2c. Select 2c availability zone and the CIDR will be 10.100.0. It is here, it is 3, then it will be 4 is done, 5. Now in this particular VPC network, we have enough space to create more subnets as well. But according to my requirement to spin up the ECS cluster, 6 subnets are sufficient. 3 are public subnets and 3 are private subnets. And now let us say create. Now it is going to create all the 6 subnets with the parameters what we have specified. And you can see the list. After this, what is the next step? I want to create a route table. Instead of using the default route table of the VPC, I want to create a custom route table. One is for public subnet and one is for private subnet. For that, you have to say create route table, select that option, give the name. I want to specify the name as public-RT, means route table. Under which VPC you want to create this, select that and then create. That's it. After this, I want to create another subnet for private route table for private subnets under this VPC and say create. You have successfully created your private route table and public route table. In this private route table, I want to associate the private subnets. How to do that? Go to subnet association. Out of this particular 6 subnets, I want to associate 3 private subnets to this particular route table. How to do that? Edit subnet associations. Now select the subnets 1, 2 and then 3 and say associate. That's it. Let me go back to the public route table. I think there is a spelling mistake here. Let me correct that. Public, this is fine. Private, this is fine. Yeah, there is no issue. Let me select public route table and go to subnet association, edit, and now let me select public subnets 1, 2 and 3. Save the associations. Done. There is no point of using default route table now. This one. No subnets have been associated to this route table. If you want, you can delete it. For now, I'm not deleting that route table. Let me leave it as it is. But the main route tables what we are using from now is public route table and private route table. And you can see the subnets associated to them. After this, what we are supposed to do? We have to go back and create an internet gateway. How to do that? Create internet gateway and then specify the name. Let us say ECS-IGW, which means internet gateway, and say create. After this was created, we have to associate this particular internet gateway to the VPC. Here we can see that option, or else we can go to actions and we can say attach to VPC. Now I want to attach this internet gateway to the VPC, what we have spinned up, and attach. After this, we have to attach this particular internet gateway to the public route table. So go back to the route tables, select the public route table and go to routes and select edit routes and then add route. In this, any traffic, I have to send it through internet gateway. So select the target type as internet gateway and select the internet gateway what you have attached to the VPC and then save the changes. After this was done, now what about private route table? In the private route table, I want to associate NAT gateway. But for that, we have to create an elastic IP address and then followed by NAT gateway. After that, we have to attach it to the private route table. First, let me go back to the elastic IPs and create a new elastic IP address for NAT gateway. Since we are trying to create a public NAT gateway, that's the reason we have to associate public means fixed IP address, which is called as elastic IP. Let me give the name. If you want, you can assign the tag. Let us say name. I want to specify here ECS-NAT gateway. GW. EI. I give this naming convention and associate. After this elastic IP address got created, let me go back to the NAT gateway. Let me create a NAT gateway. Specify the name. Let us say ECS-NAT gateway. I'll specify as NGW. Select the subnet by using which you want to create a public NAT gateway. So here you have to select the VPC public subnet. Since I have given the naming convention, I can identify the public subnets here. You can see public subnet 2B, public subnet 2C, and public subnet 2A. Here I want to launch it on public subnet 2C. You can pick any public subnet, but that has to belong to the VPC what you have created. After this was done, connectivity type, it is public. Now try to associate the elastic IP address what we have created before this. Select the elastic IP from the drop down list and then finally create. This will take some time because in the backend it has to spin up the NAT gateway which is managed by AWS. Meanwhile, we can go to the route table of private and we can associate it. No problem with that. That's the reason why select the route tables, pick the route table to which you want to attach the NAT gateway. Go to routes, edit routes. If I want to send a traffic to any network, it has to go through NAT gateway, the one what we have spinned up on the VPC. And then we have to save the changes. You can see the NAT gateway was associated. Your job is done and go back and check the NAT gateway status. Right now still it is in pending status. Let us wait for active state. Then we can say the NAT gateway was successfully created. We can see now the NAT gateway was in active state. With this, whatever is necessary for ECS cluster to spin up on the VPC network, we have created all the resources like VPC, subnet, route tables, internet gateway, elastic IP address, and NAT gateway. That's all for this particular session. Thank you.